Beautiful day to my beautiful people. It's your girl, Shaman Rain, and I come bringing you peace, love, light, and joy. Welcome if you are new, and welcome back to the fam. If you are new here, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more healing information. Lastly, hit that bell icon for more healing information that is divinely guided. Let's get into the topic for today. So, first off, how y'all like that? Because I said I wasn't going to have no script. Spirit said get a script. I need to do my hair, but we're not here to do all of that. We're not here to do all of that. But how y'all like that though? Let me know. Was it doing what it was supposed to do? You know, it'll do for now. But I just had to fly. You know what I'm saying? And I encourage you to do the same. So just rip the Band-Aid off. Just rip the Band-Aid off. So let's get into the message for today. So the message for today is greater is coming. And I have been sitting on this message for some time. Okay, like for quite some time. But, you know, the way that spirit moves, you can't force things to go any faster. Because I was feeling the type of way that it's been 11 days since I made my last post, but I've been working. I'm working now, but the kids are asleep. And this is somewhere that is actually a safe place for me to do that. You know, you can't do all of your work in everybody's house, but God has brought me here a few other times, and I just had to really listen to where he was taking me, you know, and outside of how I was feeling about where he was taking me, and outside of, you know, just the mundane things, you know, the mundane tasks that I'm having to do each and every day while I'm still trying to live my authentic truth. You know what I'm saying? So I felt the type of way that I hadn't come and gave this message because it's been on my heart like for a while, you know. But the song that is the inspiration for this message is Greater is Coming by Jekalyn Carr. I think that's how you say her name. Jekalyncarr. But I will also put all of that information at the bottom in the description. But so what she said in the beginning, at the very beginning of the song, I had to write it out so that I can give y'all this message. But she says, an olive has to go through 3 stages for its oil to run. It has to go through the shaking, the beating, and the pressing. And just like the olive, some of you may feel like you've gone through the shaking, the beating, and the pressing. You've went through all of that for your oil to flow. Now your greater is coming. And then the song just is a powerhouse. It is an absolute powerhouse. And it has been inspiring me because it seems like, you know, like she said, the shaking, the 3 stages, the shaking, the beating, and the pressing. It seems like no matter which way you go, it's something. It's a shake, it's a beat, it's a press. It's something to get that oil to flow. But another part of the song that she has said that I did not write down was, she was saying that if it hadn't been for the shaking, I never would have been ready for the making. If it hadn't been for the beating, I never would have knew how anointed I would be. Do you understand? You had to get beat to understand how anointed you truly are, myself included. I mean, I was listening to that song on repeat for the last 2.5 weeks. Like, it's been that deep. Like, and every time I listen to it, I get chills at the same part. It's just the anointings over my life. I speak that same anointings over your life. You're here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to truly honor that, right? So God has been placing this message on my heart. Just tell my people that greater is coming. So I first got introduced to this song. I do believe it was at one of my aunt's funerals. And somebody sang it. And I was just very like taken back, like really taken back. And my aunt passed away on my grandma's birthday. So it was like, it was just, you know, nothing happens for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And so everything was just kind of happening, you know. And then I moved to St. Louis. And then I bought a car from my cousin, and it was literally hoopty-doopty, but I'm grateful, definitely, because that's all I had. And a drunk driver came, smacked it sideways in the driveway like it was total, completely total. And I lost my shit like anybody would. You know what I'm saying? I had a real life human experience at that time, right? So I was just going through it. Then one day, I was already, practicing my spirituality and getting close to God in the way that He talks to me. So one day I was doing the dishes and I had my music playing. Confirmation burp, I digest the truth. This is a true story. I had my music playing and I was standing in front of, washing the dishes, standing in front. We had a little window right there and the sun would always just shine right in my window, right? Like right in my kitchen window, 555, that changed. God was asking me, I needed to do more. He was saying greater is coming, but I need you to hear me. So the song was on and the sun was shining, and it's just like God just took me up. And this is also at the same time that COVID had just happened and the world was on lockdown. So like we're on lockdown and now I don't have a car, and this is scary and everybody is scared and fear is just looming, and disease and death and sickness and lack, so I was just feeling like everybody else was feeling, and in those times, like clammed up. I'm talking clammed all the way up. And I had just got the car right before my birthday. So I thought that I was doing something, and God smacked it sideways and said, I'm finna take you through the shaking, the beating, and the pressing so that I can show you how anointed you truly are. Okay? Listen. So I'm washing the dishes and He just grabbed me up and I just fell to my knees. Like I fell to my knee. I couldn't do anything but I just let out a cry so deep. Like it just came from my groin. It was so deep. I just felt the anointings over that song. I felt the presence of God in my house, and I was like, Lord, whatever you are asking me, I will do. Okay. Like I don't know how I'm going to make it without you. Like, this is not like what you brought me to St. Louis. And it was a rough transition from Iowa to St. Louis. I was comfortable to being extremely uncomfortable, like extremely uncomfortable. I could not fathom. And then I was also dealing with high blood pressure and not taking my medicine. And so like, woo, y'all don't understand. I was really going through it. I know you can feel that energy coming from, I was like, seriously, the presence of God He came, and he just wanted me to know just as much as He wants you to know. And that's the reason why the greater is coming, because he brought that back to my memory. And even before that, at my aunt's funeral, you know what I'm saying? And He kept telling me greater is coming. He wasn't just telling me, He was telling all of His believers that greater is coming, and you have to be willing to believe that greater is coming. So the past was my aunt and my grandma's remembrance, their life. The present was my car getting hit, and the future is right now. Me sitting here and coming to give you a message of the 3 stages that I have been through, and greater has continued to come for me. Greater has continued to come for me. So Spirit is wanting you to know the first thing, a part of the greater is coming lesson is you have to understand that everything is already divinely guided. You're going to be able to look back on the past, the future, the present moment, and the future, and be able to look towards the future, not even be able to see the future, but you already know that your greater is already here. Your greater is literally already here. That's what she says in the song. Your greater is already here. It's a new season. It's a new season. You have to be the one to believe that. I didn't believe it, and that's why it took so long, and that's why it felt so, you know what I'm saying? Divine timing, God's timing is also on you. When are you going to feel well enough to say, okay, you know what, God, I let that go. Point number 2, I'm letting it go. I see that you have brought me from the past. You have brought me here right now to this present moment, and you have already brought me through that. So I know that whatever it is that I'm dealing with right now in the future, you will already take care of it. It's already taken care of in the future. I don't even have to worry about it because I'm choosing to allow this greater into my life, by letting go of everything that no longer serves me, by letting go of all of the burdens that I carried. As above, so below. Once your spirit starts getting in tune with that human experience, that's when God is saying, okay, now is the time. You are inspired, you are aware, you are conscious, so now move different. You have the healing energy already within you. You literally have the healing energy already within you. You don't need nobody to wake it up. God already did that. Your greater is already here. You just have to be willing to open the door and say, welcome in, come on in. Welcome in and come on in. The greater is coming. All ties into your self-love at the end of the day. The more you love on yourself and the more you are willing to accept that greater is coming, the easier it gets. The easier it is to get on here and give you a message. The easier it is, you know what I'm saying, to get up and go to work if that's what your life is asking you to do, if that's what God is telling you to do, if that's what God is moving you to do. The easier it is to move out of your house. The easier it is to quit that job and start something new. The easier it is to just be yourself, your most authentic, purest form. That self-love is the key. And I always talk about that, but y'all don't understand how hard it was for me. I struggled with the self-love aspect. And now, I said, listen, I'm not even going to text you back because I love myself. I'm going to let you know how I feel because I love myself. But if I feel like it's not being received, I love myself enough to not respond. Because guess what? I will be sitting with that. Holy Spirit has moved me to a whole different playing field, to a whole different ball game. Letting go. Letting go. The self-love is what is going to be the key. God is asking you to truly hone in on that. Truly hone in on that. If somebody is coming into your life, if somebody is coming into your life as a teacher, as an inspiration, as a mentor, whatever it is, and you are not liking the things that they are saying, just sit with it. That I'm not talking about letting nobody just walk all over you because you feel like, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, order my steps in your word, dear Lord. You have to remember who God has placed people up in he placed people in high places and he also placed people in low places. But the thing about it is you are not the one to judge who should be the giver and who should be the receiver. Because sometimes God is going to bring that person from a low place to give you exactly what you need. And you are a person of a high place, a high statue. But if you don't love yourself, that's going to show. If you don't love yourself, that's going to show first and foremost. It's going to be the loudest in the room. So when you love yourself, you allow that greater to truly come in. Thank you for telling me. Thank you for that awareness. Thank you for that. Thank you for breaking it down like that. It's not a victimization. It is a greater is coming. And if I want to be my best self, I have to be willing to do the difficult things. I have to be willing to know that God is going to bring me through this moment right now in the future. Because he done already brought me through the past. We're not living back there anymore. We're not back there anymore. We're right here in this moment. And this is what God is asking me to do right now. Because he done already brought me through that greater. So in order to get to my next, to get through this in the future so that I don't have to keep learning the same lesson, I'm going to trust. I'm going to love myself enough to listen. I'm going to hear what God is asking of me. God said the universe, the intelligence of the universe, the breath of the cosmos lies within you already. That's how you know your greater is coming. Because it already lies in you and you already know what it is that you need to do in order to get there. Again, that healing energy, you have it. Can't nobody can't nobody pull you up on this pedestal where they at and say, okay, you up here with me. You have to be the one to do that. I had to be the one to pull myself up by myself. With the help of God and my spirit, guys, that's all you need. But when spirit brings somebody else, the healer in, the teacher, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When God brings the teacher into your life, there is no need to reject it. Know that you are worthy. You should want those type of people in your life because, again, he done already brought you through that. Your greater is coming. Your greater is already here. You just have to be the one to say, yes, I want to be my best self. And this, you are giving me personal development so that I can be my best self. And the same things that you know, I know. But I have to give myself permission to know it. That's all you're saying is give myself permission to know what it is that you know. So that I can be my best self, so that I can see my greater coming too, so that I can go out and heal the other people, so that I can spread also the love and light that God is asking me to spread. But again, you won't know that the intelligence of the universe lies within you if you do not water your own garden. If you do not take time to nurture yourself, take time to sit with these big conversations, to sit with these big inspirations, to sit when God is telling you to sit and be still. I wouldn't have been able to come and give a message this powerful if I had did it when I first thought to do it. Okay? Trust and believe that. It wouldn't have been nowhere near as deep. I had to go and grow through some shit these last couple weeks to understand that my greater is still coming. And my greater has been coming. Once I've acknowledged that, I mean, the bread out the window. When I was struggling to make ends meet. The car situation taken care of. When I was struggling to get to and from work. Because I allowed that greater to come. Because I nurtured myself. I sat in silence before I opened my mouth and said anything to anybody. I had to do the introspection. I had to ask my spirit self, what is it that I need to be learning from this right now in order for my greater to come? Because once you are faced with that obstacle, it's not meant for you to sit there and sulk over, but it's meant for you to nurture your inner garden. It's meant for you to go within and say, hey, you know what? I had to sit there and say, Marquise, you were not right. That was not right. In that situation, you could have did X, Y, and Z. Stop doing this to yourself. Speak over yourself. Speak life into yourself and say what it is that you need to say. Move how it is that you need to move. And when I did, people respected me. And when people respected me, I was like, wait, what? Okay. So it's been me this whole time. It ain't been nobody else. I can't play that off on nobody else. You are the ticket. You are that $1 million lottery ticket. Walk around like it. You're not going to let nobody just scratch you off and they see that you won something and then just throw you over there. No. What we're not going to do is act like you don't know who I am, because I know very well who I am. So we're going to bring it back down. And we gonna get it right, because I love me. The intelligence of the universe lies within me. Just as much as it lies within you, but you might need some help. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you that. I'm gonna go ahead and give you that deep cellular healing that you needed. That accountability that you needed right now. Because maybe you just didn't know. Maybe you just didn't know. Sometimes people just don't know. Sometimes you are meant to truly trigger that deep cellular healing. I still get triggered in the deep cellular healing. That's why I couldn't do the message for 11 days. It was actually, I had seen the message. I think it was 3 or 4 days ago, when I was like, okay, God, I should probably do a YouTube because I'm feeling like I have a message. I'm sitting on something. He was like, yeah, but you need to keep sitting on that deep cellular healing. You need to continue to release all of that, what no longer serves you, so that when you come on here, you are full of confidence. You are full of love. You are full of light. You are full of healing information. You are pure. But if I hadn't went through that deep cellular healing, and if I would have blamed everybody else for my mistakes and my shortcomings and the things that trigger me, then I wouldn't be where I am today. And Spirit is saying that empathetic starseed, that last little piece, that empathetic starseed, you cannot absorb what is not meant for you. You have to be willing to sit with the things that are meant for you and give it back. Everything else that's not. That's what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks, is giving it all back. You would be surprised at how many people just kind of give me their own shortcomings. I understand it's because of who I am, but no, we can't do that no more. We cannot do that no more. I am no longer the empathetic starseed. I am no longer the healer who you can just message or just be like, hey, I'm just checking in with you, but then decide to spill all of this. I'm not that. I'm sorry. Because I had to be that for myself. And I deserve more at this point in my life. And you do as well. New solutions and beginnings. You'll survive this. You will survive this. Okay? Don't let nobody tell you that you won't, because you can. And if you're starting to feel like you can't, that's when you need more self-love. That's when you need to do the seesaw on your floors. That's when you need to take the bubble baths. That's when you need to just slow down and take time outside. Spirit had been calling me outside for the last 2 days. I did not decide to go outside until last night. And when I did decide to go outside, there was one planet that was just shining so bright, I just laid there. The moon started to get brighter. The sky started to get darker. The birds stopped singing. And the bats came out. Confirmation, excuse me. And the spirit animal of the bat helps initiate into that next level. It helps shed the fear of whatever it is that you are fearful of. And then here we are today. I journaled. I needed to definitely get that out because I wouldn't have been able to come and just, give it to you raw with love, because I was hurt. I was hurting. I was very much hurting. Everything was my fault. Everything was my fault. And it wasn't me blaming myself. I'm psychic, so I can hear the other thoughts. I can feel, I know your energy before you even try and lie and say it's not. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a very exhausting week with work. And, I'm a nanny. So I go from place to place and just different energies. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, I wasn't necessarily pouring into myself in the manner that I should. And I realized that when my blood pressure started getting back high, and I'm like, okay, I need to really pour into myself. And that's why that song kept coming up, Greater is Coming, because God has already brought me through it once. God has already brought me through it twice. God has already brought me through it 3 times. What do I have to worry about? All I got to do is let it go. All I have to do is let go of the burden of being the martyr for everyone else, and save some of that healing energy for my damn self. To pour the self-love into myself. To speak up for myself. No, ma'am, I don't like your tone. You're not going to talk to me. Let me tell y'all. So today we went to Menards. We did we planted some peppers, some rosemary, some lemon balm, some tomatoes, some cucumbers. Like, we was really in the garden today. I sea salted my whole house, mopped it with some beautiful herbs, like, bringing the spirit, that self-love. I had to really bring it in. And it felt so good. But when we were at the store, the cashier was just being real funny. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was being real funny. Like, so I end up I got a palm tree for my house, and her name is Majesty. She's a beautiful palm tree, just absolutely gorgeous. So I end up grabbing one that didn't have a sticker on it. So the lady, first of all, did not speak. She said 8 is open. I roll over to 8 and I was going to be myself, love and light, transmute that shit immediately. Hello, how are you? Because you're not going to do that. But God said, no, don't do it. He had already told me to go to 7. And then I went to register 7 and the lady was taking forever. Like it just, I don't know what was going on. Like it just stopped. And then the other lady came on register 8 and it was just whatever. So she was trying it and I was the first one there. So she was upset that I grabbed one with no sticker on it. I mean, sorry, I didn't do it intentionally. That was the one that I wanted. So she goes back there, she gets a thing. Now I seen the other palm trees that I did not want because they were dying and I just didn't want them. It wasn't the one that spoke to us. They were $24.99. Now I don't know where this lady got this palm tree sticker from that she rang up for $40. But baby, no ma'am. No ma'am. But 4 is the number of structure. You hear me? Structure and protection. So what you're not going to do is get me out my body. So I was like, oh, that one, that's not the right sticker because it was $24.99. She was like, well, I just grabbed one off the closest. I'm like, okay. So then Leah's like, you want me to go back there and get it? And I just calmly said, nope, I got it. And I took my palm tree back there and I went back there to get one of the dead ones that I did not want with the sticker on it. And it had a pot and mine did not have a pot, a plastic pot, but nonetheless, mine did not have a pot. I come back up to the register. And of course, as I'm walking away, now Leah's behind me about to buy his own stuff. And she's like, next on 8. I'm like, oh, this bitch is tripping because I'm pretty sure he was behind me like next on 8. Just because I walked away don't mean that he's not next in line. So all I said was all I know is he better be through the line and his stuff paid for when I get back up there because don't try and be funny when I walk away to go get the plant. And it better not be no line when I get back because you're trying to be funny. But I had to wait on you to go get the wrong sticker, but you're not going to wait on me to go get the right sticker. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. She should have known better, but she didn't. But it was a test for me because greater is coming. Am I going to allow people to just make me shrink and feel small in these spaces because I inconvenienced you? Or am I going to walk in my power just as much as you feel like you finna walk all over me? That was what we had to rectify, right? So I come back with the plant and she's like, oh, well, this one, okay, it says $24.99. Wow, but it has a pot. So mine is $40 because it doesn't have a pot. But this one is $24.99 because it does have a pot. So she's fumbling and I'm looking how I'm looking because I'm just confused. You're not going to give me that, right? And she's like, oh, okay. So is this the one you want? I was like, yes, please and thank you. All right. I don't know what happened. Just all in my face. And I'm looking at her like, I'm ready to pay so I can leave because you tried it. But it got transmuted right in your face. Now you look silly. Face all flushed and red because you were trying to make me pay for more because of what? A fault? But what you're going to stop doing is thinking that my greater ain't coming because it's already here. Okay? Just as much as your greater is already here. I just had to give y'all that little bit. Just that little bit. Because the old me would have been fearful. Right? I would have sat with those projections. I would have felt like, now I got, inconvenience. Because she was gone for a while trying to find that plant. But me, it took me like that. Grabbed it and went. And now Majesty is all well and just absolutely gorgeous. Just so beautiful. A beautiful addition to the house. Now, also trusting where you're led and greater is coming. The Majesty palm tree represents victories. Represents and also attracts the abundance to keep it in your house. Now, I was not looking for that in specific. We just went to go look for something. We went to go get more soil so that we can, plant. But I just felt God saying, get a tree. And I'm like, okay. And I seen plenty, but that one just stuck out to me And so then we get in the car and I'm like, look up the spiritual properties. Confirmation. Look up the spiritual properties of a palm tree. And I was floored. I was like, wow, God, you really did that. Like, you're not playing with me. If I had not gone through the beating, I would have never knew how anointed I would be. So I thank each and every single last person who made me feel small, who tried to make me feel less than, who tried to make me feel like I wasn't pretty enough, or I wasn't small enough, or I was too loud, or I was too extra, or I talk too much, or I do anything that just rubbed you the wrong way. Thank you for that beating, because it truly let me know how anointed I am. I have always been the person to go and pray before I say. Always, even if it was just a quick, Lord, please. That was in me early. And because of that, God said, now your greater is coming. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth them out of them all. Because your greater is coming. It don't matter what it was. Know that God, if you are already here right now, he done already brought you through that. She, he, whomever, God has already brought you through that. Why are you still holding on to it so tightly? Why can't you just let the burdens of the past go? So that you can literally just walk into all of the healing that you are. All of the healing that you are meant to do and be in this world. It's already here. It's already here. I hope this message rests upon ears that are not deaf and can hear the voice of God. Cry out for your love and your attention, for that inner child in you who deserves all of the healing. I am praying, that is my prayer, that this message truly resonates in your spirit, truly uplifts you, truly gets you ready for the week ahead. Greater is literally already here. May is already here. The tears that you cried in April showers bring May flowers. Allow that to start to begin to blossom. Just sit back and watch all of the things begin to blossom. Lord, I got some in my eye. Spirit said, don't try and look too close. Don't try and look too close. Just keep going. I literally heard, just keep swimming. Greater is literally here. I love y'all so much. I will put the song again in the description. I will put my email in the description. If you have not put in your order for your money for your raffle ticket for the How to Become Unapologetically Confident in 30 Days, that starts May 1st, doors close tomorrow. I am going live on Facebook to announce the winner tomorrow. Tickets are $11.11. You wished upon a star. You prayed to God and you asked him. It's here. You are a seer. You see. You can see. And it's funny because the little boy, before I put him down to bed, he was itching his eye just like me. And he knew what I knew. He gave me that inspiration. So that I hope that I am giving you now that same inspiration. to invest in yourself, to show yourself that love, to give yourself that deep cellular healing that you desperately deserve. You desperately deserve it. Desperately, you deserve it. Just as much as I welcome you in, I also send you with peace, love, light, and joy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will be talking to you soon. Toodles.